Hey everyone, it's Catherine, and today I'm here with my coworkers from Mentorverse, as you can see with our swanky shirts. I have one too, but I didn't wear it today. And as you know, I've been interning here all summer in Shanghai. It's actually my last week. So to wrap things up, I thought it'd be a really good idea to have these two guys, Sunil and Nelson, answer some questions that a lot of you have been asking about international missions. I obviously haven't been through it. I applied domestically, but this service is perfect for any of you that are confused or questioning about what to do for international missions. So just going to answer some questions and kind of go over what Mentorverse can really do for you guys. I think it's a perfect tie-in to what you guys need and what we can provide.
Absolutely. So my name is Sunil.
And I'm Nelson.
And we're both the co-founders of Mentorverse. It's a platform that connects international students applying to top colleges and universities in the United States and United Kingdom with top-notch mentors who fit their educational goals and their target schools, and these mentors can help you navigate the complex process of applying to school abroad.
My role has been really to bring my admissions experience. I worked at Cornell in the admissions office, and together we've been working to create a culture of belonging. For those of you who are current freshmen, sophomores, juniors in high school, you know, working with Mentorverse, even at your age, is really helpful, because I find about applying that it's not about necessarily always putting together an application that's going to get you in. It's about doing the things early on that's going to make you an awesome applicant.
So I know a lot of you have sent me messages on Tumblr and YouTube and Twitter and practically every platform, really wanting to go to USC or some school, and you feel like you have no chance because you're abroad and you've never done this before and your parents aren't familiar. So I just feel really lucky that this is a perfect connection for you guys. So I think now we're just going to kind of go over some of the questions I've been asked a lot, kind of like what they would do for you if you asked them these questions yourself. So I guess, like, if you guys are working with a student, how do you kind of set up the list of schools they apply to? Is that something they all already know for sure, or do you kind of give them the general basics?
We kind of spend a lot of time with students getting to know them and getting this sort of intangible feel for where the student might fit. And of course we'll have some questions for you to try to figure out generally what kind of school you're interested in, what you would like to study, and then we kind of use our knowledge of these different programs, our friends that went to these programs, some of our mentors that have gone there to help you craft that list. So you don't have to come with a list already. We help you throughout the entire process.
Personally, I went to a small liberal arts college called Occidental College in Los Angeles. It was a perfect fit for me for a variety of reasons. I wanted to go to a really small school in a big city, and Occidental's in Los Angeles. I wanted to go to a school with a really strong international affairs program, and Oxy has a really strong IR program for a liberal arts college, and I wanted to be on the West Coast. So those factors combined kind of led me to my decision that was the right fit for me. And so with students, we kind of go through a similar process. It's kind of like a vision test, right? Does one look better, or does two look better, or A or B, right? So we'll ask students, you know, do you want a big school or a small school? Do you want small class sizes or big class sizes? Likewise, with a similar network of mentors to kind of reflect that. So they come from a really wide-ranging list of schools and within the school's programs. And so, you know, it can really help students understand where they fit.
And then for those of you out there that are really not familiar with the process of applying, like, what are the differences between applying as a U.S. student to a U.S. school versus what do you have to apply with as an international student?
So for the most part, the application process is the same. So the fundamentals of it, right? You have to submit a common application, you have to submit a transcript, you have to submit the same essays. It's more or less the same. But there are a few things that you may have to do that are different. For example, you'll have to submit a TOEFL score if you went to high school in a non-English speaking environment, or the primary language of instruction was in English. So you'll have to take the TOEFL and get a score on that.
Yeah, so other things that might come into play depending on your situation is there are many schools that are what we call need aware for international students, and what that means is that the university admissions officers will see your family's financial situation when you are applying, so it plays a factor in the admissions decision.
And that's some schools, and there are other schools that offer need-based financial aid for international students. So my alma mater, Occidental, was a pretty rare case of a highly ranked liberal arts college offering financial aid to international students.
you really have to look into every single school, and like if you're working with a mentor, they'll definitely help you do that.
Yeah, we certainly provide support, discovering scholarships that you're eligible for, helping you apply to those scholarships. But figuring out how you can maximize the resources at your disposal to not only get into school, but to have a great experience and potentially to win some scholarships. There are millions of dollars left on the table in scholarships every single year, just because students don't know how to apply to them, or they don't know that they exist. And so part of our expertise and the expertise of our mentors is helping you find those scholarships and apply to them.
I think overwhelmingly the biggest thing you guys come to me with is really how to make yourself the best fit possible for a school, whether it be USC or a school anywhere in the country. You just want to know, how do I better my chances? And that's pretty much like the mission of Mentorverse. Like, it's on the website, like better your admission chances. So like, is there anything you guys can think of for a student, like how to make yourself stand out in application as an international student?
A lot of students have the right grades, have the right test scores, and that just gets really boring. And what you're kind of like sifting for in the application is the awesomeness. Where does the student's voice or their brilliance kind of shine? And that's what admissions officers are looking for.
Yeah, and I think another thing is, a lot of students will ask us, is it better for me to be involved in a lot of things? Or is it better for me to be involved in a few things and really kind of engage in those activities with a lot of depth? And the answer is always, that's better to have a few things that you're passionate about. Do whatever you can to, to further those passions that go above and beyond what most people may expect of you. That's what's really setting apart international students in the application process, because it is more competitive for international students to get into the top school.
So I've gotten a bunch of questions from you asking, I was a little bit involved in this, should I join this senior year, should I do this internship, should I volunteer over the summer? Really a little confused about, you have a bunch of options around and you don't know really which one to pursue. So that's definitely something that Sunil, Nelson, all the mentors can help you with.
The biggest piece of advice that I would give any student applying to college in terms of what they can do during their breaks, during their summers, after school, is to think outside of the box. If you have the opportunity to spend the summer doing a camp that every single other international student is doing, or you have the opportunity to connect with a professor and do research with them, always do the thing that you don't expect as the normal path. So always take the path less taken.
Build a device, build a website, create a YouTube channel, just do something really cool that you really are passionate about, and let that passion kind of guide you, but make sure that you end up with something really tangible that you can later on show somebody, listen, look at this, look what I've done with my time.
So don't feel like you're missing out. I know for me, I knew I was going to be a business major junior year, and I saw my friends going off to like UPenn or like USC and already doing a summer business program their junior summer, and I was like, wow, how am I going to show colleges that I already want to do business? I didn't do a business summer program. I felt like I was missing out because I was working at the zoo and I was doing YouTube and I was doing these like unconventional things. But don't feel like you're missing out by not going to a summer program, something like that. If you're doing something valuable with your time that's going to show on your application that you really care about it, that's completely worthwhile. I guess we'll end off with just a little bit of like essay advice, I guess. So are there any kind of like not tropes, but like cliches you see international students always wanting to write about that aren't exactly advantageous or valuable?
Yeah, I'll start off by saying I think Model UN is a great.
I hear about that all the time.
Yeah, it's a great program, and you can learn a lot. But just don't write your essay about Model UN. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of really great essay moment opportunities when you're part of Model UN, but everybody. Especially every international student is writing their essay about Model UN, and admissions officers are having nightmares about Model UN, so you don't want to be part of an admissions officer's nightmare.
I agree. I agree with Nelson. I think the essays are really an opportunity for you to tell your story, and we often tell students to pick a story, not to pick a prompt. Pick a story, tell your story, figure out what it is that you want someone else who doesn't know you to learn about you.
Start doing some writing that's not the story that you're going to write. Just write about yourself without a prompt, without worrying about grammar, without worrying about anything. Do some free writing and just let those thoughts and ideas flow out onto the paper, and that'll serve sort of as just like compost material. Out of that compost will grow something that can be really valuable later on.
Yeah, so we'll throw some links on the bottom of this to some of Nelson and I's favorite resources for students, especially students whose first language is English, to improve their creative writing abilities and just have the opportunity to write on a whole host of different subjects. And who knows, one of them might become a personal statement.
So if anything in this video interests you, if you have further questions about it, all the links to Mentorverse will be down in the description box. Definitely check out the website, click on any mentor you want, send them a message, ask them a question about their school, or ask either of these guys questions that you have, and hopefully you can set up a relationship and start working with them. That's the exact purpose of Mentorverse. We didn't already order?
I thought we ordered, yeah.
What you saying?
We just got interrupted at our local restaurant here, so I think it's time to wrap things up. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and Cather out.